Good morning, Roll Gang. Welcome on in to another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am Processor Sky here with another episode of the show for you guys so that we can break down some herb this beautiful Tuesday morning and smoke it here and get our day oriented properly. We got some fine vanilla frosting here today for you guys, along with the Terpene Tuesday episode of the show. I am so excited about this. Talk about the flavor profiles of all of the cannabis-derived terpenes. We're going to go into what each terpene brings to the party when it comes to flavor, not only in cannabis, where each of these are found in cannabis, but I also included edible foods that we can consume that also include the identical terpene that's found naturally in cannabis. So before I get on into this show, I want to give a shout out to the sponsors because they make this show possible and make stuff happen for you guys. So first one is the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool. I'm about to use this John to roll up a dime here on this Terpene Tuesday episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I absolutely love using my scoop to get my herb from my grinder to my paper or my bowl piece if I'm ever packing a bowl. But gotta use your rolling spoon to roll a dime every time. And also, this episode is brought to you by Oaksterdam University, my proud alma mater, the premium in cannabis education. Guys, go educate yourself even more than you will about terpenes on today's show and learn about cannabis or horticulture. If you go to oaksterdamuniversity.com, you will find a list of courses, all cannabis related. Oaksterdam is the first ever cannabis college, and I went. I absolutely loved it. So if you guys are interested in learning more about this beautiful industry and the plant that it surrounds, Oaksterdam University, and there is a Rolling Spoon sponsorship that you guys can take advantage of, a scholarship, if you will. Put in promo code Rolling Spoon whenever checking out with your tuition at Oaksterdam, and they will give you 10% off, which is like a couple $100. So without further ado, let's roll up here on this Terpene Tuesday episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake and get on into the show. Good morning, Roll Gang. It is so great to see you and sesh with you this morning. It is a Tuesday episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake, and just like every single weekday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, I be here rolling up, talking about some cannabis content with you guys, and hopefully you guys are smoking too. You know, we can all smoke here on this for this Wake and Bake on this Tuesday morning. And thank you to everybody. This is for you tapping in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys are all the shit, and I just appreciate you guys tapping in and talking about some cannabis content with me today and rolling up. I hope you guys are rolling up some fine herb yourselves. But anyways, so today's episode is Terpene Tuesday, which means we are going to focus on the terpenes that are found in our beloved plant. So what is a terpene? A terpene is a flavorful ingredient in your trichome. So those crystals that you see on your cannabis flower, the shiny shit, those are called trichomes. And within those trichomes are all the magical ingredients that make pot so special, like THC, CBD, CBG, CBN, but also the terpenes. And the terpenes are what gives the cannabis its flavor. Not only that, there are incredible health benefits. There are incredible sensations that the terpenes provide. And not only that, but the terpenes give each cannabis strain its individuality. Every cannabis strain has its own terpene profile, so it can be completely different from the next strain with a different terpene profile. But the aspect of terpenes that I wanted to touch on today is the flavors, and see if we can't pick our favorite flavor terpene that we like the sound of. So the first terpene that I wanted to touch on today is the most popular terpene. It's called myrcene. So myrcene is a super sweet, but not as it's also super smooth. It's like a musky fruit, if you will. Not so it's not like artificially flavorful. It's just more like sweet and satisfying. And the most beautiful part about these terpenes is that they're not just found in cannabis. So myrcene is the most popular cannabis-derived terpene, but it is also in mangoes, guavas, and thyme. So myrcene, really fruity, herbal scent, and it'll add all those flavors into your smoke. So myrcene, a musky, fruity scent that's also found in mangoes, guavas, and thyme. The next terpene for this Terpene Tuesday flavor edition is caryophyllene. Caryophyllene is this super, almost nose-stingingly, ticklingly spicy scent. It's a beautiful terpene for lots of health reasons, but it's also found in basil, cinnamon, and oregano. Other really, really popular herbs that you can sprinkle onto your food and give it a little extra spice. So it does the exact same thing for your smoke whenever you're consuming some flower that has some caryophyllene in it. Super spicy and a great herbal aroma. So another terpene that's commonly found in cannabis is called limonene. And you guys guessed it, the root word is lime. Limonene. It's not as musky or calm as myrcene. It's much more tangy and citrusy. Limonene is found in plenty of fruits, including lemons, limes, oranges, but also I think that it's really interesting to know that limonene is the dominant terpene in grapefruits. And the common thread amongst these fruits that limonene are found in is the tartness, the lip-puckering citrus acid. So whenever you have some limonene in your smoke, it's super uplifting and heady, but it also gives your joint a flavor of some tart fruitiness, some citrusiness that wouldn't be there if it wasn't for limonene present in your smoke. So the next terpene I wanted to touch on is one of my favorite terpenes called linalool. So linalool is this floral, fresh, smells like plenty of flowers or essential oils, This is what you this is what you want. Sorry. Woo! This is what you want your smoke to smell like. A little hint of floralness. So linalool is actually a natural terpene, obviously found in cannabis, but also found in grapes, lavender, and rose petals. So these things are super calming and sweet, but floral and tasty. Just a great experience, calming and soothing. If this terpene's found in lavender, then when you're smoking it, it is super calming and tranquilizing. Found in lots of indicas, linalool is truly an awesome terpene. So the next terpene I wanted to touch on is pinene, a really great naturally cannabis-derived terpene. But before I get on into that, check out this pearl that I rolled up with my rolling spoon. Roll a dime every time with the help of your rolling spoon. So pinene is this earthy, soothingly sappy scent that just adds so much spice and flavorful taste to your smoke. Pinene's one of those terpenes that you can taste as soon as you spark it. It's, as you probably guessed, commonly found in pine needles from pine trees, and it's that smell you get in the forest, that piney scent. Commonly found in cannabis, dill, maple, such as maple syrup, that piney taste in your maple syrup. Not the sweetness, not the sugary, just the piney scent. Take away the sugar, and you got pinene in there. And also pine nuts. So it's got this nutty taste, it is super tangy, but it's not citrusy, it's piney, it's spicy and herbal. So pinene, one of the best terps out there, commonly found in lots of sativas. It is super tasty and potent. So humulene is another fabulous terpene that's commonly found in the trichomes on your cannabis flower. Humulene is the earthy, woody, whole bodies, hoppy scent that you get whenever you're smoking your herb. That's commonly humulene. So some natural plants that are edible that you may have tried that have humulene in it would be ginseng teas, sage, and hops. So hops that you would commonly found in an IPA or some type of super flavorful beer, humulene is that really popping, herbal, earthy scent flavor that you get whenever you're drinking an IPA, found in humulene. So if you get a humulene high strain, then it's going to taste a little bit like hops. And the amazing thing about these terpenes are they really do give each strain the individuality of a flavor profile and uniqueness. So no strain is just one singular terpene. Every strain has a terpene profile. So a mixture of these different terpenes will be amongst the trichome and amongst each other. And that's the beauty of these strains. So you can find a strain that has humulene, limonene, and myrcene in it. Or some humulene, and the next terpene that I want to touch on is called terpinolene. And guys, terpinolene is the favorite of this show. Lots of I ask every guest that I come on during the quick rip segment, what's your favorite terpene? And terpinolene is the answer probably 80% of the time. And it is a major flavor enhancer. That's why. So terpinolene is this citrus spice, this zapping, like zesty, snappy terpene that whenever you're blazing some herb with terpinolene in it, it almost feels like you're drinking caffeine. It's that sativa, like boom, I'm here, baby. So terpinolene is commonly found in cumin, nutmeg, and surprisingly, apples. So that sweet, like, just uplifting, happy flavor of an apple, so crisp and tart and, one of those green apples. Terpinolene. It is found in your trichomes and always in some apples, which is crazy. It's awesome to smoke stuff that occurs in other consumable goods. Like, I don't know, it's really cool that cannabis contains terpinolene, and so may the apple you're eating while you're smoking it. So, super cool. And the very last terpene that I wanted to touch on before we seal the deal on this flavorful episode of Terpene Tuesday here on the Weekday Wake and Bake. This is my favorite terpene, my personal favorite terpene. The freshest, the cooling, the simple awesomine. It's an absolutely refreshing, and the best word I can use to describe it is clean, because it gives you almost this menthol-esque throat rip. Actually, awesomine is commonly found in mint, spearmint, and they even put awesomine in chewing gum because of how effective it is as a terpenoid and so mint, parsley, and lots of spearmint, they contain awesomine too. And it's super rare to find cannabis with awesomine in it, but I mean, if you guys have tried some Thin Mint cookies or some cookies strain, Berner found a landrace with a good amount of awesomine in it, so he's making all these crosses, and it's showing up. Guys, awesomine, it smokes so fucking good, and I think people sleep on it so much. But no more, because we got flavor profiles on myrcene, limonene, linalool, pinene, humulene, terpinolene, and awesomine. Seven terpenes. So pick your favorite ones, list them like your top 3, and I'll bet you that you could find a strain that contains all 3, because the mixtures, the multiplicity in the cannabis that you can purchase on the market now, it's so amazing. And I just love being able to try different terp profiles. It gives such individuality to the plant. And so next Terpene Tuesday, we're going to talk about the same terpenes, but instead of the flavor profiles, we're going to talk about the health benefits, because they really do have some extremely positive health benefits too. And naturally, without the side effects or taking drugs, pharmaceuticals. But anyways, thank you guys for tapping into another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. Huge shout out to everybody tapping in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I love every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. And huge shout out Darlene, an awesome episode yesterday. If you haven't already, you can check it out on all of those same platforms. We have them saved so that you can sesh with us throughout the day, just not live. But that episode with Darlene was a banger yesterday. Terpene Tuesday today, and I have not one, but 2 badass women entrepreneurs coming on the show tomorrow for an elite midweek wake and bake. And we're going to be doing a flex time, so it's going to be 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. I will definitely make a little story clip to make sure everybody knows where to find me. But I had to make a little flex in the schedule so I could get these two earth-shattering women to come on the show simultaneously. It is going to be a legendary sesh with Marnie Montroy of Vegas Cannabis Magazine and Leilani Joy from Joy Fuel and Culture and Cannabis. An absolute banger on the books for you guys tomorrow morning, 8 Pacific time. A little modified here for these two boss ladies coming on to the show. Super excited to see you guys then. Thank you, every single one of you, for tuning in to this Terpene Tuesday episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. All five platforms, baby. I love every one of you tapping in and truly hope you have an awesome day. I will see you tomorrow for the Processor Sky and the Rolling Spoon and the Weekday Wake and Bake. Have a great day. Roll